In the previous video, we set up some trend line trades on the cable, the GBPUSD pair. We had a rule set up to buy when the price hit this level of support, then sell if it hits this area of resistance, to protect revenue. If the market turned, we had a stop trend line which would switch us from a long to a short position if the trend line was broken. And it's interesting to note that as I used a 1 hour candle, even though the price hit the trend line, the trade did not execute because the price did not close on an hourly basis below the trend line. So as discussed before, I use a longer term candle such as a 1 hour interval to make a call on a change of trend, not something like a 1 minute or a 5 minute, because you can accidentally get switched. So this is a perfect example of this. So looking at this trade, on the 10th at 10:30, the price did pull back. So when we set up this trade, it was trading somewhere up here. It pulled back, and we bought to open a position. And now we're waiting for the trade either to rally to a point of resistance. If you take a look at the profitability on this trade, we are currently up 152 pips, so it's worth thinking about protecting profits in case the price does not reach the point of resistance. What I'm going to do now is set up a trade that will protect profits. So if we take a look at this upward move since we bought, it looks like there may be an upward intraday channel forming. So looking at this trade, there is evidence of a channel. So what I'm going to do is set up a rule-based trade that will protect my profits if the price falls below this trend line. So one of two things will happen over the coming days. The price will either hit my planned area of resistance, the initial trade that was set up, or it will fall below this intraday support trend line and protect the profits that I've made. So if the price falls below it, I'm going to use a 1 hour candle because I do not want to get spiked out of a position. So I will sell to close the long position on the K lot. Only do it if long. So if this rule triggers and closes out the long position and then the price falls below this trend line, this trade will not execute because I will have no position. So what I'm looking for is, if the price falls below this trend line, close out the long position. If it pulls back to the previous support trend line where we opened this long position, then we will buy again into a long position. So I just want this one trade to execute, and that's it. I want it to send once, so it'll just happen once and that's it. Now for clarity, if the price falls below this trend line and I've already closed this long position, as I've only selected send once, this alert will be paused. Even though the trade has not been executed, the alert will be paused when the price falls below this trend line. If, however, the price does not hit this area of resistance and falls below this trend line, then the trade will sell to close out the long position. Just give myself a message to remind myself of this trade. Okay, so now we wait to see what happens.